Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of TOLTM Media with Dr. Eve. I hope you all are doing well out there today. There's a lot on in the news going on today, and I'm here to share and give you some reminders, also to share with you some things that are going on in um, in our communities. Well, it looks like my So welcome back again. I was trying to adjust my camera so that my background can stop fading out. I think I've got it now, so hopefully we can continue on without my looking like my head is chopping off, chopped off. I gotta make it so that it's okay. So hopefully that will do it. Let me just kind of get in the right position to be able to. Hello. Welcome. Okay, so just really wanted to first apologize to my audience because I'm usually here every day at 1 o'clock, and I have actually been under the weather. So just wanted to make you all aware of that, so that you know what's happening, because I don't want to be here starting a building relationships with you all and disappear. So I've been to the doctors, all tests are clear, but apparently got a hold to a really bad virus. I had to get some assistance with breathing. So, but I'm feeling a lot better today. I'm gonna, take rest for the rest of the holiday to ensure that I'm, fully back to health. But I'm also grateful that I can still come here. I can still sit in the comfort of my home and have a media, you know, conversation. I think that that's one of the beauties of being able to um, write your life, write your story, your narrative, to be able to control what well-being really does look like for you. Because if I were on a 9 to 5, then I may not be given the proper time to actually restore my health, without jumping through a lot of hoops like FMLA. Those laws are made for us, but still, anyone who's ever used those laws before, Family Medical Leave Act, you understand that you really do have to jump through a lot of hoops to just get time that you have actually earned. But because you have, these HR employment laws and things of that nature that, say, you can get dinged for being out. You can get dinged for being out more than 1 day or 2 days. You get dinged sometimes for just being out the 1 day. So it's a very real thing. And when we talk about, redefining well-being as the highest form of equity, that's what we mean. We look at not only the quality education, quality health care, economic stability, and safety in our neighborhoods and built environments, as well as our social context, anything relative to our social context. And so, I that's at the top of a concern for me, and was an ongoing concern. But I noticed somewhere in a new law was passed um recently. I stumbled upon it in the news, actually, on one of my channels, that they're now giving mothers mothers leave time prior to the pregnancy, prior to the birth of the child. They're now giving them so many extra weeks in preparation of it. I forget which town that was. I need to start writing. One of my goals is to really begin to bring you that relative news, because I know that in social media we all have our channels, but because the algorithms, you may not see the things that I see. And since I focus primarily on, community health and human services, I see a lot of things that people actually do need to know about. So, um, I I would like to use this channel as a media channel to inform you and give you updates on what is actually happening in my sphere of influence, so that you are prepared. If you are interested in knowing more about those things, that this channel can be one of awareness, right? Because we talk about all things well-being here, right? I received an email this morning that I thought was really good news, that came directly from the Department of Health and Human Services. And I want to share that because, in recent news, we have had so many incidences where there have been encounters with individuals who had, a mental crisis, were in a crisis, and that crisis went bad when they encountered the police. And the Department of Health and Human Services is working fervently to address, the things that affect our wellness. And so I stumbled across this morning, that I'm so grateful that the NC, North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services, has now invested 20 million in transportation programs for people experiencing mental health crisis. Um, this was made possible by the North Carolina General Assembly in non-law enforcement transportation. So this practice of providing trauma-informed transportation for people in mental health crisis, who need to be transported from like emergency rooms to residential treatments. In the past, this transportation was provided primarily by law enforcement, but non-law enforcement transportation provides a safe therapeutic alternative for people already in mental health distress. I don't know the inner workings of the program, and so I'm going to be doing some digging on that to bring you a more informed understanding of that. But if my memory serves me correctly, they will be working. Well, it says that they will be working closely with community partners to ensure the mental health crisis transportation program is designed to effectively reduce the burden on law enforcement to conduct mental health related transportation services. So there's that coming up. That was released on the 20th, which was a few days ago. But as I've shared with you, I've been down a few days. As a matter of fact. So let's see what else is going on in the news today. In DHHS. Some hot topics for today is the new crisis Services webpage, which is in both English and Spanish to help Carolinians know about the mental health crisis services available to them. Some of the steps include they revamped the landing page for crisis services to English and Spanish. It has a searchable map now, which will find community crisis centers in Spanish, including behavioral health urgent care centers and facility based crisis centers. They also have a new feature, a zip code feature, that will help you to find a mobile crisis team in Spanish. I think prior to it's been in English for most of its existence. And so now they're expanding it to also be available in Spanish. Let's see, in the coming months, they will be sharing a toolkit to support partners in getting information about NC crisis centers to their networks and launching a paid media campaign. So here on my channel, as an educator and a representative in the health and human service space, it's my goal to share, insights as they unfold. Okay. We say congratulations to the new Peer Respite Center in Wake County. There was a ribbon cutting recently as a part of an ongoing effort to transform North Carolinians' behavioral health crisis response system in North Carolina. It's partnered with Alliance Health and Promise Resource Network. They held a ribbon cutting on December 19th um, for a new peer respite center in Wake County. Secretary Cody Kinsley and the director of DMHDD, SUS, that's a whole lot mouthful, cut the ribbon on the new center on Thursday, December 19th. This community-based peer respite program is one, like this one, is a voluntary resource for people seeking mental health. I need to turn my sound down. Hold on. It's got feedback. Yeah, so it's designed for it's a voluntary resource for people seeking mental health, substance use, or behavioral health crisis support. These innovative programs offer home-like settings that are among the least restrictive options for behavioral health treatment, offering 24-hour access to peer support specialists who provide support from the perspective of lived experience. So that's really, really exciting news today as well. What else is in the news today? We talked about the transportation piece. We already talked about that first because that was like on my radar this morning. So that was exciting. They also have now, you can order now a free 988 page print materials from your local. If you are a peer support person or someone who is working or has an interest in the DHHS community or supporting individuals who are in this space. Well, let me just say this. DHHS is a huge field. It's a field that covers everything from birth to death. And so there's tons of materials that are available to you if you are interested and or are working with human beings. So as I am sharing this, understand that there's a broad spectrum of work that goes on in the Department of Health and Human Services, which is why I am bringing to you this information and integrative health as well. as we take our health back too, because there are some things, although there are some things that are being led that are, bring concerns for the general public. And so we want to make sure that we are giving you options to what is available here at DHHS. We must always keep our ear to the ground to know what is happening, um, understand the research behind some of the things that are being done or recommended, because we've learned so many things since the pandemic. And we want to make sure that we have our ear to the ground always, so that you as a citizen can make an informed opinion, an informed decision. So that's critical. We talked about the transportation program that's coming up, but right now on their website there is an order free 988 page 98 988 print materials today. So if you are a department, or a organization leader, someone who wishes to begin something or start something, go and order your educational materials. You got these materials actually are printed educational materials for students, professors, and student organizations to distribute in your network. So I think that that's a wonderful thing to have access to these free materials. If you are someone who is working in your community, and you have like booths, that you can set up, or vendor tables that you are planning for, the first quarter, second quarter, third, or fourth, or 2025, go ahead and get those materials. Those materials will be available. You can order materials by January 17th to receive them by the end of January. So you want to go ahead, and these will be available throughout the spring semester. So that's what we have in the updates for today. Let's see what else. Oh, let's look at some grant opportunities. So, some grant opportunities that are available through NCDHHS. If you are in North Carolina, these are for specifically for you. If you are working with clients in the mental health, developmental disabilities, and substance use services, these current opportunities are available for you. One is the Projects for Assistance in Transition from Homelessness program, and that's due February 13th. Projects for, yeah, so they have also your budget worksheet and things that you might need here to work on. Um, the other thing is Bipartisan Safer Communities Act. Uh, I'll probably start coming back to give you more specific information about these grants, because the grant information requires upfront work. You have to do some work before you decide to just apply for these grants, because um, and what we do in my agencies is we provide assessments to help you to prepare to receive the funding. Um, then you have the statewide Bipartisan Safer Communities Act. That is another grant, and it's like 49 pages, y'all. So I want to go more into depth with you all about these grants. And if you haven't heard, uh, a I have a grant package that you can actually review that will give you insights on how to start getting prepared. If you want a one-on-one assessment um, of your company's current status, or how to get started, so that you can, if you are interested in this type of programming. What I don't want encourage people to do is change your mission for funding, right? Um, Switch, bait and switch, because my company's mission is to affirm human social value. You don't want to go adjusting your mission of your company to accommodate, grant funding. Because that, to me, in my opinion, is selling out your birth, selling out on what your original intents were. Now, if your program, your company can start something, in a new department of your company, then I recommend you do that, you know, but there's ways to do it. So if you want interested in any way about grants, please do make sure you grab an assessment. Just click the link in my description box and go ahead and grab an assessment so that you can start getting ready. Actually, let me just go back, y'all. These is from 2024. They haven't updated these yet. These are not updated at all. These have passed. Let me see if they have a new list out, because that's no, they don't have the new list out yet. So let me just say this, that there are a host of grants that are out. And I'll just go ahead and share that they're not coming. I have access to an abundance of grants that are, if you are preparing for 2025, then you need to stay connected with me, because I get those grants as they come out. But you don't want to wait for grants as they come out. So here are some also that I found out today. If you are in the media, maybe you have library, media, historical publications, and records commission, the National Archives as grant opportunities. And that is, they have a bunch coming up. The first draft on February 18th, archival projects, publishing projects, state board programming grants. And then I have in my capacity building for historically Black colleges and universities. Well, that one was in 2024, so don't disregard that one. That just passed. Um, but I have a host of I will be bringing to you every day. So please do click the link here, like and subscribe, so that you will know when I am live and can catch this information. Okay. Um, I have also, what else I want to share with you all today? Um, some things to remember. Okay, so here are a few. Let me see. They said the crisis services 988 lifeline. If you need to have a lifeline conversation, you're concerned, please dial 988. 988 is the lifeline. You can call, you can text, and you can chat. So make sure that you, for anyone that you know, if you're an organizational leader, that they are aware that this service is now available for individuals who are experiencing a crisis. There's the Peer Warm line. Want to make you aware of that, which is the North Carolina Crisis Services, which is primarily designed. And if there are you all out there looking for opportunities to be an independent contractor, if and you have a lived experience, your help is really needed in your DHHS offices, um, because there are individuals who are experiencing things that might be the result of something that you experienced as well, where you can show them or share your experience about how you recovered, or how you, um, moved past that particular um, phase in your life to um, to have a better life, and some of the tools maybe that you work through to use to do that. They have peer recovery programs. They have these all, you can get certified in these programs so that you can, we need you. We need so many individuals who are willing to share their story so that people can stop thinking that they are alone, and I think that that's one of the reasons I love so much about telehealth and telemental health is that one of the things that during my studies, during my grad dissertation that I studied during the interviews with peer specialists, licensed professionals, licensed counselors, and case managers, is that what the study revealed was that case managers really had great outcomes with these new apps and these new services because they um, these apps and services, when you have services like these, it lowers the inhibitions of your of another person who wants to share, but they might be afraid. They may still be having experiencing shame or guilt, but when you can make available a service where people can have anonymity and confidentiality, it lowers their inhibition to get help, and it lowers their um, it gives them a sense of belonging to feel like they have a place where they can go and no one knows them. They don't have to worry about that person lives next door or that person can see me, because they're still living with the pain of an experience. So it's very important that if you are someone who I have that desire to become a helper, to because that's the thing, becoming an ethical helper. Your services are needed because you can see all around you there are people who need help, and we want to leave the world um, better than we found it. You know, adverse childhood experiences are very real, and there's a scale that's being used to help to measure to measure. And I remember taking that survey and become 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10, I experienced adverse childhood experience, but I knew that I did anyway. But I want you all to be aware. So let's see what else we have in the news. And today, going back to, I lost my point. I lost my place. I gotta get better. We will get better as we progress to be a great resource to our community. The next thing in the news, that's where I was. The next thing in the news was uh different reporting dashboards. Okay. So let's talk about the dashboards and reporting things that you should know. Let's see, the LEME, we have some new dashboards, 988 performance dashboard. So this is for those of you, again, students, LMEs, all of you all there's these great dashboards, you all. If you're ever looking for data, The 988, I mean, these dashboards are giving some amazing stats. So, for those of you who are looking to really learn more, or perhaps you would like to find data sources to support your feasibility studies, if you are doing work in the county or here in North Carolina, one of the things I know for sure is that in order to, you can start something, but your funding is going to be based on the impact that you can have that addresses a real problem. And a real problem is presented through feasibility studies. Now, before I had a master's, advanced studies, substance abuse counseling certificate, all these credentials, PhD. Before I had any of these things, I, my first nonprofit agencies back in 2001, I did a feasibility study. I had no idea how to do it. I had no research experience, but I knew that what we were experiencing in our community was a problem. And so I had to find out, where do I get the information that I need to support the problem that we're having? And I went directly to the state school support report cards because I was dealing with children. So I wanted to make sure I shaped the data. They understood that there were real reasons why the program was needed, and that more services were needed in that area. So if you're thinking about starting something, it's critical to look at the data. And there are all sorts of dashboards up here, y'all. My God, this is absolutely amazing. So just to give you a feel for the data, reason for contacting, say the hotline. We talked about the hotline, right? The 988 hotline. So check this out. Now, on the 988 hotline, reason for contacting, get the number one reason people contacted the call center. It was an interpersonal and family reason. Interpersonal and family. Now, we don't know why they characterize these this way. The first reason was not 35,432 people contacted the call center because of interpersonal and family reasons. The second one was 14,631 contacted because of depression. The next one, which was third leading reason, was 12,068 contacted because of anxiety. Fourth, 10,072 threats to self. 5,599 contacted for daily support. That's a good thing to know. They just needed some daily support. I like looking at these numbers. 4,666 were contacted because of they were being victimized. 3,929 because of substance use. 1,798 because of medical. 1,284 because of grief. So this gives you an idea of why people need help, right? Or why they were in a crisis in that moment. Now, this is people just self-reporting. What about those who don't even know about this number? This number that's available, this crisis hotline. they went on to say 1,167 contacted because of job and financial. The other one, youth, was 625. Youth concerns, 555 because of housing and domestic violence. So this was information gathered from 1/11/23 to 10/24. So I'm excited to know that this dashboard information is actually available, because when you are putting together your grants as well, this data feasibility numbers are also very important. Could you probably dig into this a little deeper? Sure. But it looks like to me the number one reason was interpersonal and family. I would be curious as to know, get more in-depth information about that. Um, Now, what kind of support did the 988 number offer? So this is good information because they got four categories, right? So they shared, the top one was 42,995 shared information on available resources, which is why the work that we do here and the work that you all do out there in the network is so important. Shared information on available community resources. The next one was counseled by a crisis counselor, 37,623. So that's a thing. That's a category. That's an offering. I need you to catch what I'm putting down here. That this could be a service that you offer, right? As a partner, as a community partner. The next service was referred to service, 25,023. And so let me just touch base on further on that one. Because service, referred to service, are services like community resource, mobile crisis, LME, emergency response, veteran resources, and crisis facility. So there's a lot of data here to be able to kind of determine, where you fit in your ability to provide services to others. Let's see what else we can catch up on over here. I'm loving this data because data, please share with me the data, because the data tells the story about why the services are even needed. All right. Ooh, that was good. So just want to share a couple more things because I didn't want to keep you all too long. I try to keep these to 30 minutes, but looks like I am getting to the top of my hour here. And that was there have some other dashboards as well. They have a DHS dashboard, LME dashboard, um, block grant reports, all kinds of data, y'all, surveys. To all of my people who are interested in getting into this field, um, reach out to me, grab an assessment. If you need support and help in getting your contractual services going and available, um, just reach out to me in the website in this description, and we'll give you an assessment and get you started. We even have strategy sessions on how to get you set up as a provider, and also to get you set up with the global, the government, like you, Small Business Administration. how to get you set up in the SAM system, all the things that you will need to do this kind of work, and you are needed. So let's let's prepare for 2025, you guys. I have a community group, and I'm also in January going to be offering a paid group. I'm going to be offering a paid subscription group where you can get that one-on-one, not one-on-one, but group time as well. So you will be privy to information. Even if you do have your one-on-one, you'll have an accountability community where you can develop and sharpen your saw as you're moving through the processes, because it's no longer, we can't wait. You have to, I know here, I can tell you as a witness that when I started this work, I did 2 years worth of research before I even came out with my program in 2001. And the comment from most of the people who learned about my program was, where did this program come from? It's because I had done the work before I introduced the program. And I did the research, and there was a lot of things I didn't know. So there was a lot of things I had to learn. But the most important thing was that was the response. And they were like, wow, like it was like one of those things, don't tell them about it till it's in place, because you got blockers. You got people who try to, it's very, come to strategically to keep you from doing this kind of work. And now I am a believer, so all the things that I do is the, from that particular perspective. So I want to be clear about that as well, is that we can still do this work. And part of the reason why I do it as an independent business owner is because I don't want to be under the guises of systemic violence. So, you know, where I can't give people another way and an alternative to dominant institutional cultures. So, that was very important to me when I started this work. So, anyway, just wanted to tell you all about all the amazing things that are coming or that are going on in the department. And let's see, any press releases going down that you need to know about? Oh, the one I already told you about, the $20 million in transportation. They also have December 19th released a 1.5 million in school-based health centers to expand behavioral services for children, which is awesome. Not enough, because we have so many school-age children. Let's see. Also, I missed quite a few, so I'm going to give you all of these, and then I'll come back and strategically talk about them, maybe in some shorts or something, so that you have more information. NCDDHS begins capacity restoration program at the Pitt County Detention Center. That is partnering to offer additional service for defendants with mental illness whom the court has determined incapable to proceed to trial. Building on the success of NC Rise in Mecklenburg County, the program in Pitt County is part of the department's continued work to ensure the right behavioral health care is available at the right time for all North Carolinians. All right, y'all. So that's what I have, and that's what's in the news. That's the hot news today. I wanted to also share with you that Hurricane Helene has gone into the long phase now of phase of recovery, because they're still needing help. They're weathering the storm. Let's see what their needs are in this moment. There's and for those of you who have programs and can provide any of these things, there are lots of resources available here, crisis services. They're just wanting to let people know that these things are available. Disaster distress, you might can put some little links to services that you can share on your social media, your websites, or wherever. I put them I usually put them on social media since people know this is the work that I do. Healthy alternatives to dominant institutional culture, community health education. That is what I do by trade. As an independent business owner, by the way, I do not W-2 for anyone. All right. And so here we go. That is where we are. And let's see if there's one more thing I saw over here that I wanted to share. There's also a hurricane recovery toolkit. So be in the know. If you want the link to some of these things, I'm going to try and see if I can put them all inside of this description box. And yeah, maybe I'll do that for you all and I'll edit this video so that you can have it. But for now, you are listening to Dr. Eve. I am a community health and human service educator, qualitative researcher, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Somebody was outside. And I am the host here at Touch One TOLTM Media, where we have daily conversations. Want to wish you a very happy holiday. And whatever you do, have the most amazing holiday. Don't let anyone get in the way on your journey to becoming who God has called you to become. And until next time, have a great one, family.